Welcome back to another episode of Chilling with Beaw. Easily the most scuffed podcast out there. Easily. Today we're doing something that's not gaming or pop culture, kind of. We're talking with my friend Jesus about making knives and pointy objects. Welcome, Jesus.
Thank you for inviting me.
And let's get started because doesn't offer us a lot of time for some reason.
How much time does Zoom offer?
I think 40 or 45 minutes.
All right.
So, to start us off, what made you want to try making knives?
Well, first off, a few years back, I was working out of state, doing construction and to work like that and living in hotel rooms and stuff. And one of the things that we did was watch a lot of TV.
Mm,
So my brother and I watched a lot of Forged in Fire, and we're like, man, that can't be that hard. Then why the guy struggling? That don't look that hard. So fast forward like 2 years later, we finished working with that company. We got tired of off and on the road, back home, on the road for 3 months, back home for 2 weeks, on the road, blah, blah, back and forth. So we decided to just find some work here in town where we live. Well, where he lives, I lived about an hour away. I currently now live in the same town because it's easier to be closer to work.
mm-hmm.
And my other brother had a spare little warehouse space. And one day I passed by and my brother Juan was setting up a little shop to forge. And I was like, "What you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna make knives. It don't look that hard." I'm like, "All right." I had plenty of extra time and I had some stored up money, so I was like, "Yeah, I'll give it a try too." So then I proceeded to spend the next couple months making machines because the way I am is I like to make stuff, but I don't like to work hard. So I did not, all that hammering did not look comfortable, did not look like fun. But I saw the hydraulic presses that the guys had, and I said, I want one of those.
Mm-hmm.
So I went on ahead and built me one, and it was very, very crappy, horrible, broke after a few months, but I got the job done. Then I went
Nice.
to version number two, which still works. Needs touch ups, but still works. And slowly we started learning. First thing we started learning was about the steels, that there's different kinds of steels that have different properties and that when made correctly, you can get a very, very good knife with relatively cheap, not necessarily cheap, but not very expensive. Because you go to Walmart, you buy one of those $5, $10 knives, and
Oh, yeah.
you're like, oh man, this thing's awesome, and you use it for a few days, and then it gets dull, and then you're over there trying to cut up a tomato and then crush it, and you're like, well, toss it out, grab a new one. They're only $5, $10.
Yeah.
But after a while, you get tired of that. So what I did was I started researching, and we're using mild steel, which is basically what they give you at the store. Most run of the mill cheap knives are just made out of some kind of stainless mild steel, but the normal average person doesn't know. They're like, oh, knife, sharp object, I cut.
Mm-hmm.
Very easy. Those knives, you can use them, but they lose their edge very quickly. So you got to be constantly sharpening them, like literally daily if you want to really put use into them. So I started researching. I found online shops and I found web forums, and then I started watching YouTube videos. And I slowly started learning and learning. And about a year after I started making knives, a year of wanting to do YouTube, but not having the balls to do it, pretty much, I was like, man, people are gonna, make fun of me, or people are gonna ridicule me, or this and that, and all. It's everything here in the head,
Mm-hmm.
and it got to a point where after a year of making knives, I'm like, well, I've made like spent most of my time and money getting tools and machinery. I made like 3 knives. I might as well start documenting. And so I made a YouTube and then I said, I'm going to start. And then I ignored it for a week. And then I was like, what am I doing? I got to start. So I recorded a video because I had a client that wanted a special kind of knife, oddly shaped kind of knife that's almost like a curve and the
Mm-hmm.
edges on the bottom. He wanted it for doing electrical work because he was a lineman. So
Makes
he's like,
sense.
instead of buying one, I'll have one made for me, and I'll buy that. And so he bought that and a couple other knives. And I said, well, I'm gonna make a video about it. So I made a video about that knife, and that was the very first video I did on my YouTube that gotten maybe 20 something views or something. All family, got 9 subscribers, all family. Nobody that was really gonna. I mean, my brothers and my family's actually pretty good about watching my videos, and so then I proceeded to YouTube for another 3 or 4 months. I started in April, May, June, July, August. I didn't start seeing any progress until late July. So about 3 months of consistently putting up a video every Thursday with like zero results, like depressing.
Yeah, that's that's one thing that a lot of people either forget or don't realize is that YouTube, it is a it, I don't want to say a battle, but at the same time it kind of is.
It's a journey.
Yeah, because
It's a journey of finding yourself.
yeah, it's like you're a guppy in a sea of megalodons.
Yes. It's
Especially especially with what's his name? Oh yeah, Ludwig being being signed on YouTube. You think
oh man, my boy Lud.
you think small stream small people have a chance?
Hey
I
man.
mean, I mean, we we do have a chance, but at the same time,
Well, you got to think about it this way. This is the way I look at it. I see people that are in the same niche as I am, and I one thing I like to do is I'll go to their very first video and I'll see when they posted it, and it generally makes me feel a little bit better in the sense that they posted that video 7 years ago. This is where they're at now. They had a 7 year journey. Who am I complaining after 3 months?
yeah,
Why would I be the special one?
that's that's how I look at it. If I look at anyone who's doing gaming,
We can't all be Michael Reeves.
the if I had even a sliver of his success, I would not be in this 2 bedroom apartment.
Oh man. But yeah, it's all about consistency. Actually, I have a friend because I started well, I'll just continue with the story. So after a few months, I started getting traction, and out of nowhere, my channel started getting subscribers 50, 75, 100, 150, 200. And and then at its peak, I think I was getting about 800, 900 views a day, which to me is amazing. That's a lot of views. That's crazy. And then out of nowhere, one day it just all dies out. And I go from 900 on 900 a day down to 90 a day in a span of like 3 days. And then it just kept going, and it wouldn't stop. Like November of last year was like I got depressed for the first time in my life, which I don't get depressed very
What's it
rarely.
what's it like?
What like getting depressed?
No, no, like you say you got depressed for the first time. I'm like, what's it like? That,
Sucks.
that's me all day.
Oh man, nah, I very rarely get depressed. It's one of those things that just hits and then just goes away from me. I might have like a split second and then I'm like, yep, nope, not today, buddy. And then I just get rid of it. I'm a very in my head kind of guy. So I got plans, I got stuff to do. I'm like, I don't got time for this. I can't be sad. I can be not happy, but I can't be sad. So then I proceed to go through December with trying to bring up my channel. I was doing 2 videos a week. I was grinding. It's very time consuming to make just a knife, let alone two. And I didn't want to break down the videos. Some I had to, but I didn't want to break them into two parts because then I had people complaining.
Mm-hmm.
Which at the end of the day, I learned I don't care. I just do
Yep.
what I want. It's my channel. They can just not watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So slowly but surely started picking up to my videos when I posted, they would get 100, 200 views, 150, 200 versus getting 1,000. And I was like, well, it's slowly picking up. Comes around a few months later, I my older brother told me, hey, there's this challenge that these YouTubers are doing, these knife making channels are doing. Why don't you why don't you join? And I was like, nah. And so I didn't. And didn't join that challenge. I said, no, I'm too busy. A few months later, they do another challenge. And I was like, well, it doesn't hurt. So this challenge was to make a dagger, and they opened it to viewers. So they had this challenge that they were doing themselves, and then there was a viewer portion where the viewers could do it, and they had some special rules for the viewers and blah blah blah. So I was like, okay, I did it. I ordered the stuff I needed to join as a viewer, and then
Yeah.
I did the challenge, and that challenge took me from 600 subscribers to 950 subscribers,
God damn.
which over a span of 2 weeks, 950, 980 over the span of 2 weeks, and I was like, hell yeah. Which was the whole point. I mean, I tried very hard on that knife. That it was a dagger. I pulled out all the stops. I made it as pretty as possible in the little bit of time. Because by the time I realized, I had less than a week to finish it, and I had that same week I had somebody tell a lady commissioned me a knife for her husband's birthday. Do the same week, so I had a week to do that knife and the dagger, and I ended up making the dagger, that knife, and another knife that I ruined and broke, which was like a $400 knife that went to
Oh.
trash. It was horrible. I pulled it out of the forge. It was hot. It had a copper inside of it.
Oh.
So the forge was hot because my brother was using it. I turned around to talk to him. I shit you not, split second. And I turned around and looked at it. It was bubbling. The copper had melted. And I pulled it out. And when I pulled it out, it slipped, hit the ground, and it just peeled like a banana. And I just sat down and I was like, ah,
I would have cried
rest it.
on the spot.
I almost did. But then I just stopped myself and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go home. Tomorrow's another day. And so tomorrow,
Yeah.
the next day, I made another knife, started from scratch, got to the same point, finished her knife, finished the dagger. Wasn't the best I could on the dagger, but it was enough to where I got noticed by other channels.
Nice.
And they invited me to the next one as a participant. After I hit 1,000 subscribers, they invited me to the next one, which was like 2 weeks after that. And yeah, I just competed in the next one, and my channel's doing fairly okay. It's at last I checked, 1,384, something like that. So it's slowly growing, but the power of being able to do that, which is a great thing that I've noticed. I don't know about YouTube in general, but within the community that I'm in, everybody's trying to help everybody. The knife making community, just in general, it's very tight knit community,
Yep.
and they added me to a chat, and I've been talking with the guys there, and I'm talking about the guy that invited me right now has 200,000 subscribers.
Holy Jesus.
Another guy that's on there that now he follows me, which I'm like, that's awesome. He has 2 million subscribers. and there's multiple different other channels in this group that range from me at I'm the smallest current one right now with 1,300, and the biggest at 2 million,
Holy.
and everything in between. The majority are between that 2,000 and 100,000 range, and it's cool because you can get insights from them. We'll go in there and somebody be like, man, what do you think about these analytics? And people will chime in their experience, or what do you think about this thumbnail? And people will chime in, and you can ask a question and they'll give you their experience. And one of the guys actually, he his video took off. We're talking about a 2,000, 3,000, 2,000, 3,000 sub channel. His
Oh
video right
man.
now, last I checked, was sitting at 243,000 views, which is incredible.
I I think one of the videos I put out, I want to say a few weeks ago, was uh more information about the second Spider-Man game, like the full sequel. Max it got, I think, was 369 views, most I've seen in a month.
That's more than what my average video gets. My average video right now is, well, an average video to say on a channel, you're gonna look at anywhere between 10 to 20% of your subscribers are gonna watch any of your videos.
Yeah,
So if your amount of subscribers is 1,000, you should be getting around 100 views to 200 views a video. So anything above that is you're doing very good, and below that you might want to ch- check on it. But on average, you should be hitting about 10%. You and I mean, you see channels with 2 million subscribers, and they put out a video and they hit 200,000. You're like, man, that's a lot, but it's 10%. You see a video with 1,000 subscribers and they put out a video and they I mean 10,000, they put out a video and it gets 1,000 views, 10%. So that's roughly where, on average, that's where your average video is gonna land. Anything above that, it's icing on the cake.
mm-hmm.
And my videos, originally when I was having 400 subscribers, were hitting 4,000 views. So that I was way those videos were pretty much viral for my size. And then it cut down to being the amount, that 10%, and that's when I got depressed. But that was actually just a healthy channel. And it's a
Yeah,
slow process, and you'll eventually get that one video that blows up and blows up your entire channel, like that what's happening to my buddy right now. And he doubled his subscribers in 7 days. He's just sitting at 6,000 and change right now, which is
I,
awesome.
I, yeah. After hearing about, like, when I think about how uh I guess difficult it is doing actual videos and then streaming and having to turn those streams into condensed videos or highlight reels. I'm like, huh. There are people who are having to do this, but times 10. Having to turn it into videos, highlights, TikToks.
That's crazy. I can't keep up with all that social media. I know if I did more social media, I would be growing a lot faster, but my mental capacity isn't there to be able to make shorts and make TikToks and make reels and post consistently on Facebook and on Instagram and Twitter. Don't even get me started about Twitter. I got 2 followers and I haven't posted in who knows how long. But as I grow, I plan on getting people to help me out with all that stuff.
Same.
So
My
I'm not too worried about it.
my goal within 5 years, have an editor. I,
It's doable.
like after, even before I did my own stuff, I was like, I can see why people like outsource their editing, but now I'm like, call me, like hook a brother up.
My editing is trash. My skill set is making knives, not editing. My editing is very much so par. And hopefully one day I can hire somebody to make my videos pretty. But that's just a matter of time. It's about playing the long game, especially with YouTube. There's random people who are phenomenal, like Michael Reeves, who for one reason or another, everything just hit right and he blew up with his very first video.
I mean, we're
But the average person isn't going to do that.
I mean, for him, we're talking about a guy who can turn a robot that looks like it's from a prototype of iRobot. He can turn that into a a uh, walking cake that you would see at a frat house. So for him,
I love that
I
video.
can see it.
Oh man, I'm a huge fan of Michael Reeves. I'm a huge fan. I don't particularly watch streamers because I just don't have the time to,
Yeah.
but I do watch the YouTube highlights. So I watch OTV, I watch Ludwig, I watch Hassan, I watch, all the mainstream streamers that you see on Twitch and on YouTube and stuff like that. So I follow along with all that stuff. And streaming is you won't see me doing that. Being live and trying to not screw everything up is something I'm not gonna. I won't even bother trying to.
I
There's no control compared
I
to actually recording videos.
yeah, I streamed last night for 2 hours trying to platinum the 2018 God of War game. If you go through the latter half of that stream, it's just death after death after death. And I'm just going to say, for those of you who are waiting for the highlight reel, don't make fun of that death counter. It is it's going to be up there.
Oh man, I haven't played video games in years. I want to. I wish once I have some free time between work and making the knives and editing and uploading and everything. It's tough. People think it's all man, you're just doing YouTube. It's easy. No, it's work, especially when
Oh
you don't
yeah,
know how to do anything and you have to figure everything out from the very beginning, from scratch. It's pain.
the one type of uh content I don't think I could do. It's not because I don't respect it. It's because I respect it too much.
Hmm.
Cooking.
Aria, you watch Aria?
Uh, she recognized my um post about my Korean barbecue.
Did she?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
but yeah, I love cooking so much that, one, my kitchen is small and hectic, so not putting that out there. Two,
Mm,
the most I can do is either Korean barbecue or tacos.
that's it.
Like like not the Tex-Mex tacos, like
Mhm.
but like the tacos your tio would give you.
I I like to cook. I like to cook a lot. I just don't have time recently because I'm trying to just get something quick and either do something else or sometimes just relax. There's that feeling of just sitting down on the
Yeah.
couch at the end of the day, just for 5 minutes, just amazing. But then you got to go and edit videos.
Oh yeah.
and you got to figure out a thumbnail because apparently nowadays it doesn't matter how good your video is. If your thumbnail isn't there, nobody's clicking it. If your title
I
isn't pristine, nobody's watching it.
if there's one thing I've learned from other content creators, but um, co- colors matter. Eh, and let's be honest, not all of your viewers, depending on what kind of content you're doing, not all of them, but a big majority of them are going to be younger because they have the most time to watch YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Not my audience. My audience is older guys. Well, it's my audience is primarily, I want to say, 35 to 45 on my YouTube analytics
I'd say
because
for
it's people that like to make knives.
I say for mine, mostly because I do gaming, eh, especially since I play Fortnite, which that's kids. I'd say at least 3 to 16% would be younger, but God, I hope not, because you've seen me in our group chat. Me and the filters, not existent.
Mm-hmm.
I've I've said some words on on my streams. Some
Yeah, that's the difficult part, trying to be family friendly on everything. And
I
when you're streaming, you can't be.
I I
You,
I
I don't know
gave
how
up.
people do it.
I gave up on that early because if I'm playing like on the rare occasion I play a scary game, those f bombs are dropping.
But I've noticed the couple streamers I do watch occasionally. Ain't nothing new. You have you watched? Do you know who Star Smitten is?
I don't think so.
No, you should watch her last video that she put up
Oh,
on YouTube.
Starsman. Yeah,
Celine,
yeah, 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 yeah. Celine.
Celine. I don't know if you've seen her last video that she put up on YouTube. Her last reels, her last highlight video. And if you haven't, you should check it out with Jess. That right there is, man.
I I watch Gina Darling. If you guys don't know who she is, OG, great content creator.
I was
I'm
about to say, how do you not know who Gina is?
yeah,
But then again, younger people.
yeah, and I'm not going to say what she said on here because I want to keep the ads on the on the podcast as much as I can. But I'll send it to you afterwards. But
Oh yeah, Gina. I seen a little Twitter drama she had earlier in the what, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Yeah. I love Gina. She's awesome.
yeah, well, we are running out of time. Thank you, Jesus, for coming on.
Yes, sir. Anytime.
Um, I'll leave a link to his YouTube down below. And any closing words?
If you're planning on doing YouTube, plan for the long game because I've been doing it for a year and a half and I'm barely at 1,300 subscribers. About to break 1,400, but yeah, and the majority, the first couple months was no progress, and after that, it
Oh
was
yeah,
very slow progress. So be prepared for the long game. Be prepared for at least 3 to 5 years of being on the grind.
yeah,
That's what
and
I'm expecting at bare minimum.
yeah, and if you're doing like I am gaming and you think you need a top of the line $1,000 PC, I do all of my gaming and streaming on my PlayStation 4. That sounds like a jet engine. That thing wants to file a lawsuit anytime I play God of War. Like I anyone if there's anyone who who can show that you can do it, it's me and my loud ass PlayStation.
I agreed, man. I use my phone for all my recording. I haven't bought a camera. I don't plan on buying a camera anytime soon either.
The
I
the
just use my phone.
the latest upgrade I got is my HyperX mic, and that's after years of content.
I hope to one day get a mic, but I don't know. Splicing the audio afterwards sounds like something I don't want to do. So I might wait until I got an editor before I
Yeah.
start adding mics for the audio.
Well, I'm going to close this. Be safe. Drink water. Um, don't roast the death counter. Okay, bye.